Hello, my lovely individuals. We are assembling and testing out mine. I'm testing it. Or I'm testing my rug making, what do you call it? Mount? I don't know. My brain's not working. But we're gonna assemble it, and then I'm thinking make Paper Mario, and then there'll probably be some more space. I'll have to see how much room I have, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do and try to perfect our rug trimming skills and other stuff in that vein and see how we do it. So let's get into it. First things first, I had to take some time assembling the product, and my kitty cats kept on visiting me as they do because they're my good little boys. It did not take long at all to finish assembling this frame. It's all very basic, just screw it together with things they provide. It was a little tricky to get a hang of because it's like kind of a flat bolt and it's kind of hard to get it stuck in the thing, but eventually you figure it out. I couldn't find the instruction booklet at all at first, and then eventually I realized that I had to shake the absolute crap out of the box in order for it to fall out. It took maybe 30 to 40 minutes to assemble it. It didn't take too long, and I have a background in loving to assemble IKEA furniture, so it's definitely up my alley. Admittedly, this feels a lot higher quality, being aluminum and everything, over IKEA furniture, admittedly. Sad to say. I know that the camera adds 10 pounds, but I need to lose weight bad. I've been feeling like garbage. I need to lose 50 pounds, and I want to stay there so I can start making my own fashion, basically, because I'm so tired of just the random throwaway garbage that you can attain nowadays. So sorry for the random background noise coming up. I forgot how loud the ceiling fan is, and it's way too hot to go without it in there. Leave it alone. He was just clawing it earlier. Got a nice little projector set up, and we're gonna put Mario on here, and I'll figure out something to do with the rest. Obviously, tracing something using a projector isn't that hard, but there was some points where the brown and the black kind of looked pretty much the same. I probably should have did it in the dark. I didn't think about that until literally right now. I'm a little bit stupid. For the other half of the thing, I didn't film it, but I intended to do a Danganronpa school logo, which you can see there, but as I meant intended, I really meant intended, because neither one of these worked out in the end. Sorry. I intended to do it with double strands, so everything it pokes, it ends up with 4 little nubbies at the end to end up making it a lot more organized, basically. But this machine was not having it. I don't know why. Don't worry, I'm not going to always submit you to the audio, because it is pretty loud. Not necessarily in person, but it definitely wears on you. This is where lovely little Enzo knocked over my tripod and broke it. And I just could not get a good angle on anything until I figured it out the next day. But I eventually switched to doing single strand, and it was a million times easier. So if you have this model of Tufting gun, single strands, because it was not having the double. And maybe it was the yarn that I used, because it was kind of like rougher, but it was bad. In the long run, I think I figured out that this was the wrong kind of monk's cloth, because this is what I had on my old frame that broke that I was using to just practice and try out. I bought stuff that I think is correct, but we'll have to see how it goes on the next time I do this in a video, because this monk's cloth just ended up being a huge mess in the end. As you can see by my inability to make my lines look good, I'm definitely new to this and very much wanting to learn, as this was a probably around $1,000 investment over how many years into buying all this equipment. So yeah, definitely something that I very much want to do, even though I don't have enough space for rugs. I just like making things. If nobody figured that out yet, that's just kind of my thing. I do stuff. The beautiful thing about rug tufting, though, is the back really doesn't matter, but it does definitely affect the front after, like, trimming and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking maybe next rug I'll do Mario again, but try to make him bigger and try a different, like, border in between everything methods. I think I saw a guy who does rug tufting once who kind of, like, did the outline of everything, like each color back to back, like real good, and then like made sure they were nice and straight, and then filled in the rest. And that might be a very good methodology, just kind of logically thinking about how it goes in and then like pushes out. Because if you do too big of an area, it'll just kind of bloom out and then it'll mix with the other colors. And I don't know. I think that's the next way I'm gonna try to approach it. The next video is going to be different, though, because I do have to solve a problem that this video created, so that'll be next week. I'll talk about it at the end. Overall, even though I'm not great at it yet, I think this will be a very satisfying hobby, and if you have the extra money or can go to like one of those rug tufting classes, and you have any sort of interest in it, I would definitely give it a shot. It's really not that bad compared to a lot of things as far as expense-wise, but if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's definitely a luxury. But I also suppose if you get very good at it, you could probably take commissions and like make stuff for people, and you could probably get a pretty penny doing that, I imagine. I think I mentioned it before, but I started saving all my yarn scraps and like little fabric scraps because I have an enormous amount of stuffing and stuffing adjacent projects that I'm going to need stuffing for, like pillows and that kind of stuff. So I save all that to mix in with my professional stuffing to kind of like make it go further, and plus I paid for it, so I'm gonna use it, dang it. I want to do more cross-stitch pillows so bad, and I'm not a big fan of Chanel, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a super big fan of the fuzziness of Chanel, but just something about the cross-stitch pillows. So I'm gonna probably try to do it with just regular acrylic yarn and see how that goes. My husband, Dom, is very into Pink Floyd and everything, so I was thinking about maybe incorporating that somehow in some home decor, so I'll have to figure something out. I'm trying to get through a lot of the materials that I have, because I just have so much stuff. So much stuff in this house that just needs to be used up. I have paint, glitter, canvases, beads, a metric butt ton of yarn, thread, sewing thread, like random little things from the Dollar Tree to like paint, a ton of like perler beads and mini perler beads, because I really love mini perler beads or art cal beads, and then just like an enormous amount of things to do, and I just need to do things as I doodly do. Okay, I haven't looked at the other side either, so let's see what this looks like. I mean, it's not horrible. Obviously, it's gonna need some trimming and shaping and all that lovely jazz. You can see where I kind of messed up at the beginning. I But, yeah. Overall, it looks pretty good. Obviously, these will get trimmed. We'll trim it down, we'll try to sculpt these, because I think that'll ultimately end up making him look better. But, yeah. I'm gonna take a break. After my break, because it's humid in Pennsylvania in the summer, and that's the worst, I got my little trimmer going, and I was trying the method that I saw where it's like you kind of sculpt the sides in, and it looks good, but I don't know, I guess I just didn't perfect it right. I accidentally made this hole while, trimming it, so crap. And it's like a pretty important point too. Like, so far it's looking good, and I know obviously it's my first one and I still have the Danganronpa logo to do, but ugh, I don't know what I can do about that. I guess I'll figure it out. I decided to do absolutely nothing about it and just try to work around it for practice. But what I was getting at before I interrupted myself is that you put the red border on after you trim everything, and it still kind of mixes in. Not as bad as it would have beforehand, but you can't really get that good carve in like was what I was looking for. But that's also how I ended up messing up the cloth. So I don't know. It's something we're definitely gonna have to play test. I like the idea of a shaggier rug, but I also like nicely trimmed up rugs. You can see here by all the little pieces of monk's cloth poking through how much damage this thing really is doing to that cloth, so it's definitely worth it to pay for the correct materials. The correct and better quality materials on some things, especially stuff like this that's very expensive to get into. Overall, I feel like with this process, I've definitely learned a lot, and I regret some of the choices I made, but it truly was just like super cheap yarn that I was using and a monk's cloth that has been sitting in my garage for probably about a year now. So just practice is practice, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that would have been awesome if it turned out perfect. Since I am vehemently opposed to finishing something I can't stand, I'm going to shape. I probably ingested a pound of fluffies during this process. I'm going to shave all this off and put it in the stuffing bin, and then we're gonna hopefully take what we learned from this garbage and transfer it over to the Danganronpa piece. So, wish me luck. Maybe I learned something. Maybe I didn't. That's a full possibility. There's something oddly satisfying about turning an entire project to fill. Didn't take that long either. Okay, that's probably the end of this video because that took a long time, so I'll be testing something with the frame maybe? I don't know what I titled it, but I'm sure you knew what you came into. But, next week, I have a problem that I need to solve because, as you may know, this lovely room that I'm tufting in is also my doll display room, and that fur, hello Momo, besides his fur, gets everywhere. So, part of what I want to do is turn this room into storage and my art room into display. What are you two doing? But, yeah. So, have this be mostly storage and the other room be mostly display, I think will work in favor for the doing large projects that get very messy in this room. Plus it'll be easier to access all my bull crap when I need it. So see y'all for that video. Please like, comment, and subscribe,
because, as you know, it always helps out. And we'll see you all next time. Bye!